Hello, and welcome to another edition of Judging by the Cover. Today, we are looking at what is apparently a brand new game that had come out. It is new on Steam, released on May 8th, so only a few days ago, came out this weekend. Creature Keeper, a monster racing game that looks like it has, like, when I saw the video play out and the screenshots, I was kind of reminded of Azure Dreams, where now, if anybody remembers that old game from PlayStation 1 or Game Boy Color, the monsters would be out in the world with you instead of entering into a battle like you would with Pokemon or Monster Warrior or Dragon Warrior Monsters, Monster Warrior, Dragon Warrior Monsters, Pokemon, Robopon, those kinds of things, where you would enter into a separate battle. This one, the monsters are out on the overworld with you, or out in the dungeons with you, and fighting alongside you, except this one appears to be going in more of a real-time engine like you would with a classic top-down Legend of Zelda, if you will. And even then, the graphics do kind of remind me of that. You see the character using bows and boomerangs and different kinds of weapons and tools in the world through the trailer and the screenshots. You see that, and it does appear that they do offer quite a bit of monster customization. So we're going to go ahead and look down here where we have and we do have some stuff here, recent events and announcements. It came out on May 8th, and there is also an update that came out the same day for known bugs and issues with Creeper launch build. I'm not sure if this was preemptively put up, like they had a hard launch day and they knew that there were some bugs that players would encounter, or if this is a compilation of what came out from day one's bug reports on their forums or feedback, because a lot of developers these days, they do have those things, because even with quality assurance, there's only so much that in-house QA can do, in-house testers can do. Once something goes out to the massive player pool of, the rest of the world, they are going to have a lot of those people acting as kind of play testers in their own right. So they are working on some of the known issues with that. You can click on that in the Steam store page to see what's going on there. We do see they have some mixed reviews. I imagine a part of those mixed reviews is because of these known issues that they are currently working on. Hopefully by, maybe within a week or two, we'll see stuff with that. But we're just judging this based on the store page, and the fact that they do have those issues, they know about them, they're working on them. I am counting that as a plus, because new software, especially when you have them on so many different platforms, as Steam is going to be used on so many people's computers of varying capabilities, they do have a lot to work with there. So you build your team and fight. Assemble your dream team by befriending a variety of unique creatures to fight alongside you in real time. Choose your creatures wisely to best handle any challenge that stands in your way. And we see them putting together, we have a storage of multiple monsters, and then your team of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like 6 is, and we do see in other screenshots, we see a team roster of 6 in there, where it looks like you select your perks and level them up accordingly. So, team of 6, like Pokemon. Potent plant power. You unlock a pocket garden to grow food and create helpful connection bonuses for your creatures in an engaging organization minigame. So it looks like they do have farming in here as kind of a little side thing that still has tremendous benefits, since I'm sure the way they have this set up, it looks like instead of using balls or magical devices to collect your monsters, it looked like in the trailer that you feed them food, and I'm guessing you have to feed them something they like in order to get them in. That kind of reminded me of the Dragon Warrior monsters, at least the old Dragon Warrior monsters, like from the Game Boy, where you would feed them different grades of meat to try and get them to join you. And with that, knowledge is strength. You fill out your bestiary on the 50 unique creatures in Thera to unlock powerful buffs and items for your party. Now, this is an interesting way to get some skill progression, where it looks like each creature has a skill tree, but you unlock the skill tree by means of what appears to be a sketchbook, where as they level up or as you research them, it unlocks additional skills by means of adding to the sketchbook, like a field researcher would with an animal, where they photograph or sketch animals out in the real world. In fact, sketchbooks are probably often preferred for that kind of thing since, cameras can succumb to all kinds of environmental problems. So an epic journey awaits, explore the vast world of Thera and all its secrets as you take on your quest of destiny. So we do have some kind of main quest in what is, frankly, some beautifully rendered 2D environments. Like you would see in older games, like old Legend of Zelda's, old Pokemon, where everything was kind of set in tile sheets where you could tell that it's like, okay, they have a number of assets in the game for how their maps are put together, and then they use those tile sheets to put maps together. Here, it now a lot of these are very much made from those tile sheets, but it looks like they have a lot of diversity to those tile sheets to give you a very rendered like set of realism to even the 2D environment. We see that in the trailer and the screenshots, a whole lot of beautiful use of colors going in there and definitely bonuses there. Um all of that. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick look. Oh, pop open the screenshots. So we have one screenshot showing can't tell if that's a sickle or getting ready to throw a boomerang, but we have something here. Looks like two friendly monsters. I'm judging by the hearts over their head, a frog and a scarecrow looking thing, and some kind of winged griffin or something out here that they're fighting. So you have that whole little fight going in. Or actually, just noticed the in the UI we have a sword, a shield, and a boomerang. So it looks like we have a 3-button layout for your regular overworld exploration. So that since it's a green tool, I'm guessing the boomerang that they're getting ready to throw. We did see that in the trailer too, the boomerang being thrown. We have we have little people out here. Now, I can see how this kind of pixel art could be maybe a little off-putting for people. It's not necessarily just because of how the line art is and the way it flows, it's not as rigid as older games. They definitely tried to keep things very loose and free flowing with the pixel graphics, which could be good, it could be bad, depending on your personal taste. I personally kind of like it. Like it feels almost hand drawn, but in that pixelated way once it's translated to the screen for whatever kind of performance that they have in there. New creature scorpion. Looks like they're feeding the scorpion to go ahead and make friends. We do see here what looks like the grid layout of the pocket garden, as they mentioned in the game information, where it shows heart power, crit power. I'm guessing based on how you lay out your garden and how you have the plants growing, you get extra perks based on the puzzle layout of that and trying to put together your different little Tetris pieces. Like, you have your T block and your L block going here, including a monster. I'm guessing the monster in here kind of either frolics or works the field a little bit to help crops grow, something to that effect. While other things go, they seem to kind of work in their little bracket. It would be interesting to see how this all plays out. We do see up here at the top various little like puzzle pieces with crops and plants loaded in there. Like you see two of these little pink petals, three of these eggplant looking things, all that kind of good stuff. We have another little overworld. This one, now we can see compared to some of the other environments, like this one, a couple of NPCs seem to be out for a picnic. This one, you're out in a bluegrass forest. And then a few shots later, we're in a darker, kind of hard to tell if that. Okay, you know what? It's not too hard to tell. At first, I was thinking like, is this a more dense forest where the trees are blocking you off? And I'm thinking actually, it looks more like a cave with mossy flooring, some stalactites going on, or stalagmites, mushrooms and vines growing all over the walls with the monsters going here. So we do have like the shaded thing going on. You're surrounded by a bat and some other cave creature. And then we have, of course, the party layout. Now, for anybody that's played monster games before, or even not even monster games only, but games with party systems in general, we can kind of see a lot of information coming off of this screen. Hopefully, the controls are intuitive with how it works, but we do see 4 out of the 6 monster slots taken up. But I also see at the top it shows party points 20 out of 22 with these little bubbles filled in. And then under each monster, it shows a number of bubbles, which must be how many party points that monster takes up. So it looks like as you probably level up and expand as a player character, I'm my intuition, my experience with games in general is telling me that this is something along the lines of okay, you're limited in your monsters in the party by your party points. Weaker monsters probably take up fewer party points, stronger monsters take up more. Like we see this big angry chicken monster here with 6 party points, while this little bee looking dude only takes up 4 compared to little lion and frog person taking up 5 party points. So we can see on the screen how this is playing out, how many party points the monsters are worth. It seems to be unrelated to their level and hit points, considering we have, a level 6 frog with 519 heart hit points, I'm guessing by the heart, and then the chicken, level 7, 420 hit points. So probably stronger offenses, less tanking ability, but still more monster points than anything else in the party, even though it's the same hit points and level as the lion dude. And then I did see in other screenshots in the trailer, it showed the types. So it looks like we have like this little green, probably a wind burst, considering we have, the bee and the chicken with that. We have what looks like kind of a power hitting. That could be a hammer strike or something of that effect for the frog. And then the two, what looks like claws here. So like a claw type of main attack or weapon for the lion looking dude, which I think was actually called a scorpion in one of the other screenshots. And we do see a lot of the items here, stats, perks, skills. They're giving us a lot of information here. It looks pretty innocuous as a menu screen. Normally, I wouldn't expect to see a whole lot of information, but having browsed multiple games menus, I'm kind of guessing at what it works through here. So they are giving us a lot of information from the screen and how to look at things, especially if you've seen these kinds of menus before. Then we see a screenshot specifically. We did see the video in the store page and in the trailer of the sketchbook powers here. So we get a closer look at it. Just in a lock screen here. Hat unlock. You unlock a hat to customize your creature's appearance. That seems to be one of the perks here. You pet creature, befriend creature, trade reward, highest level, corruption cleared, and trade points. So we have a lot of these what appear to be research points. Hopefully some of these are explained in the game, because corruption cleared and so highest level sounds self-explanatory, but corruption cleared and trade points can be a little esoteric to the game's core mechanics. Hopefully it's not too insane with that. And then we do see a couple of level ups happening on the screen here. A lot of stuff going on with the game. Visually, I love the pixel aesthetic. I can see how it might be off-putting for some people, but it does have a very Legend of Zelda-esque feel to it. We can see how the character moves and functions with bow shots, taking a moment to aim for your enemies, befriending creatures, fighting other wild creatures. You get a lot to work with there. And even with a limited roster of only 50 monsters, it looks like the monsters do have some diversity to them, even though we only see the bat, the frog, the scorpion, and that screenshot of the little chicken, and this little wolf dude too. We do see a little bit of the wolf guy with a hat attacking alongside you on a monster in the cave. All kinds of little powers and tidbits here. It looks like it could be a very interesting playthrough. And with the price, I am seeing on Steam $13.49 on sale right now until for about a little over a week. $14.99 full price, which for a game like this, it does seem like a fair price. I would rate this a 7 out of 10 right now, in part because they are acknowledging a lot of bugs going on right now. Some of them straight up sequence breaking or even performance or some known game crashes that they are working on. That could easily bump up to an 8 if they address those quickly. So, 7 for today. as soon as an update happens fixing their known bugs, which I haven't even tested, this is all based on their own reporting on their own store page, easily bumping up to an 8, where I believe $15 sounds like a very fair price for what they're advertising. And the store page, they don't spend a lot of text. I've seen some store pages that give you like a wall of text explaining like the game, the world, or whatever kind of other stuff they have going on. This one is very much like, no, here's the bullet points, here's a few screenshots and banners of animations in the game. Here's the trailer. That's what we're going to sell the game on. And frankly, if I knew that I had the time to put into this would be a pretty easy purchase for me. I would not mind spending the $13.49 or even the $14.99 after the sale is over. If it comes to it, I would put down the price for this. I don't know that I would get as much time playing it as something like a player would with Minecraft or Stardew Valley. The game doesn't appear to have that kind of limitless play, but for what we see here, and they don't show you so much of it to spoil whatever kind of end game or storyline stuff they're going. They go very heavily into showing the mechanics and the gameplay. And if you like monster games and the little bit of customization we have here, we do see the frog getting a fire shot by equipping a hat to it. And I don't know about you guys, but putting hats on your animals can be incredibly, it feels good. I am missing the word. The words are escaping my brain because sometimes I cannot words good, but it feels good having your little wizard hat frog following you. Now, my wife might disagree about the wizard hat frog. She might prefer something like the wolf or maybe even the chicken. We would have to get her opinion on that separately. But with that, like I said, 7 out of 10 now, 8 out of 10 down the line. Definitely an interesting game. It looks like the kind of game that could function as a mobile kind of thing. And I did see that it is brand new on Steam now, but announcements have been out for, I think, over a year for this coming to console as well. So a quick little search has shown me that they are working on console ports, so Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, the whole 9 yards, but they're probably wanting to work out these known bug fixes from the Steam release before it comes to console. I know a lot of games do that. They'll get the PC releases because they're easier to push updates out than console releases. So they want to get that going before coming to console. I would 100% love to see this on Nintendo Switch. I know other consoles out there, those players are going to have their fans as well. But this feels very much like the kind of game that, you get your portable device and play this on the go out as you like. It gives you a lot to go with there. I would love to be able to, just sit down in bed or on the patio and just have my Switch and play something like this, exploring a little world, whether I'm going in a long play session or short bursts. Having this kind of exploration feels kind of fresh in a monster raising game, and that's coming from somebody who is a longtime fan of the Pokemon game series. Even as somebody who hasn't played a lot of the spin-off games, like I haven't played a lot of Mystery Dungeon, I've never played a Ranger, but the different kind of gameplay in monster games that I've had from, the Pokemon, the Dragon Warrior monsters, Azure Dreams, Robopon, each of those offering something different. This does feel like it has its monster aesthetic to it, but it has enough of its own visual style and its own mechanical charm that it feels like it could offer something very unique at a fair price for the indie game. So by all means, if this seems like your kind of speed, give it a look. 7 point, like I said, 7 now, 8 after bug fixes. And if it comes to Switch, this is a very strong possibility. Well, not if, but I guess when. It's a strong possibility that as long as I got my radar on this, that this might just end up in my Switch library.